Anyways, I hope you guys are fabulous. My name is Tumi and this is Young, Broke and Fabulous. If it's your first time here, you are not a slayer. To become a slayer, all you need to do is click subscribe and hit the notification bell and the all options so you don't miss a notification every time I post a new video. So yeah, guys, wait before I go in. I look cute, don't I? Anyway, if it's if you like this top, head over to my last video. I did a creativity clothing haul and this is one of the tops that I got from creativity clothing. So yeah, as you saw from the title of the video, this video is going to be talking about getting car finance at 21, how I went about it, like what I learned, my biggest mistakes, what I took from it, and answering some of the questions that I received from Instagram. So yeah, enjoy the video. If you find it helpful, if you have any further questions, please put them in the comment section. I will answer to the best of my ability. I'm not a car person or anything. I just like sharing, and I'm sharing with you guys because you were interested with the video where I did what's in my car. Anyway, anyhow, please enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Let's go into the video. Yes. So guys, my little babes here, I got my little babes in 2017, in December of 2017. I got my car a month after not even a month, I think 15 days after I received my driver's license. So I got my driver's license on the 30th of November, and then on around the 15th of December I had gotten my car. I'm putting this in because it's important for the whole story of buying a car and everything. What's first things first, the car, like getting the car, like the process of getting a car. So first of all, how did this like even come about? We'll have to talk finances. Like, right, I started working in June. The interview was in April. So I started working on the 1st of June 2017. I worked for an online e-commerce company and I worked there. Then I became permanent in August. So as soon as I became permanent, that was the only thing that was ringing in my head. I want a car. That time I was just like not having it. I was like, I need a car, I want a car. So now I go to my mom and I'm like, Mom, can you please like take the car in your name and then I will pay for it. I'll pay. It's just that I want you to get it in your name because I'm not sure if I will qualify for one, blah blah blah. She straight up said nope. She said no. And now I understand, because I wouldn't take credit on anyone's behalf. I don't care if it's family or anything. Like, I've learned a lot of lessons just from how my parents handle money, and now I feel like it's a bummer, but honestly I feel like for her to say no pushed me to actually do it on my own, and it wasn't actually even necessary for her to take the car for myself. But had I taken it in her name, I would have actually gotten way less in terms of the interest. So that's another thing that you have to look out for, that I'm gonna talk about in the video. So sharp, it was just ringing in my head, but I had failed my first driver's license, like my first driver's test, in April. I remember I failed it in April. Then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna focus on looking for a job. Once I have a job, I will retest and get patale cook, guys. Okay. And then because the first time I just did the test and I didn't even get out of the parking, that guy failed me. So I took more lessons and before I took the test again in November the 30th, and I was able to get my license on November the 30th. Then I was just like, babe, please help me look for a car. I'm actually lying. We still had DSTV then, so I used to see this ad here, the Renault Kwid. The first time the Renault Kwid was launched in South Africa, and the ad was like 2,000 and 1 year insurance. So I'm like, 2,000, I can actually afford 2,000 a month, and I won't be having to pay insurance for a year. So I can actually, my license will be older, so my insurance won't be a big amount because I will have driven for a year and I will only be paying 2,000. And I'm just like, I was excited. I was just like, as soon as I get that license, I'm going to get my Kwid and I'm gonna be paying 2,000. And I was just excited. I wanted a car. I really wanted a car, and I wanted it so much, and I thought it was gonna be easy to get the car, and it was gonna be cheap because there's a Kwid that's 2,000 per month. And I'm like, honestly, right now I'm paying rent, groceries, taxi, and I still have a lot of extra money. Fortunately, my parents both work, so I didn't have to like take care of anyone at home once I started working, which was a nice thing on my side. I know a lot of people don't have that advantage, but I did have that advantage, and I was sharing in terms of rent at that time. So, and I was living at a place that was 5,000 per month. Then we were sharing 2.5, then like 500 for electricity. So I did have a lot of extra money. I will say my first salary was 11,500. So with the ads that I went to car sites, so they do have sponsored ads where like car dealerships are advertising their specials and stuff. So if you now look at the fine print, the minimum, they use a interest rate of like 6%, which is unrealistic, especially for someone that doesn't have a strong credit record yet, that doesn't have like a big asset that they have attached to their name yet. So now they're putting their 6%, this is calculated at a 6% interest rate, and there's a residual of maybe 60,000. So that's how they come to that amount that you're gonna pay per month. So you are going to pay 2,000 per month, but now at the end of your payment period, you still have to pay 50,000, 60,000, 100,000, depending on the car that you are looking at. And you still have to consider that once you do yourself, like once they go to the bank is going to be like, no, I'm not going to give this child who's 21 and doesn't have a credit record. I'll go back to credit record. Doesn't have a credit record, I'm not going to give this child a 6% interest rate. So now that's what you have to factor in. That's why I couldn't get 2,000 for the Kwid. I was getting a quote at 3,000, over 3,400 to pay per month for the Kwid, and still have the residual or balloon payment at the end. That was not ideal for me, especially considering that the first quiz didn't have ABS, and ABS is a very important feature in the car. I watched a lot of reviews and everything, but because it was 2,000 per month, I was even willing to overlook that. But once I got that quote, I was like, no, it's better for me to look at other options because this car is not even safe. The Kwids now do have ABS, but the first one did not have ABS. So that's when now my husband started like helping me look for cars everywhere, and we found babes. And then we found the Hyundai i10, which was a 2016 model. So it was in 2017, so that one was a 2016 model, and it only had 26,000 kilometers because it was a demo car. So you have used cars and then you have demo cars. So used cars are like if somebody owned the car, used it, and then sold it to the dealership, traded it in, or you are buying it from the person. Or you can buy a demo car that they use at the dealership to show, like, you know, when people test drive and stuff, or it was maybe used by Avis, like what is Avis, a car rental company. So excuse me, so car rental companies take the cars back, or trade the cars in very quickly before they build up miles. And from my understanding, Babes, my Hyundai i10 was used as what is it, a car rental, whatever. But that was what was on the clock. It was 26,000 kilometers, and it was a 2016 model. And then obviously when you look on the side, the car, like the initial quote you get is like 2,000 something, and that's what you're expecting. But when you get there, now reality hits. They're like, okay, cool, this is where you are in terms of age. You are 21, and I had accounts in varsity. And you know what, guys, when you take accounts, make sure that you are gonna be able to pay, because if you take an account then you don't pay it, that messes up your credit record. I will look at my I will look back at this app I have for my credit record, because somebody did ask what my credit record was at the time. I'll write it up here. But I had accounts. I had Truettes, Rage, and Truettes, Rage, and Identity. Those are the easiest ones to get as a student, even though their clothes are actually the most expensive. As a student, Mr. Price doesn't give, I don't know now, but Mr. Price doesn't give accounts to students. So those are the ones that I had. Fortunately, I paid them every month properly, because I had pocket money and I had promotions, so I could pay my accounts. And at the end of 2016, I canceled the accounts, which was dumb on my side. Even if your accounts are paid off, don't cancel them. Still use the credit for your credit, like for the credit score to keep on improving. If you cancel your accounts, apparently it does, not apparently, I know, I cancelled all my accounts, it affects your credit score. It's like, yeah, I don't know how that works. I'll research on it, or please go to what's her name, is it Lebu Mashile, but I'll put her channel here. She does all the financial videos. I'm talking about how I got my car. So sharp, that was my credit score at the time. And obviously I was 21 and I had closed off my accounts, and I closed off my accounts. Then I opened a Mr. Price account, because I think I watched this other show that advised that. Then I took a Mr. Price account, which I was paying, but it was not like, the credit was huge, but it was like just a little amount that I could be able to pay every month. But it was not enough pool for the banks to decide if they can trust me with loaning a car. So the car's price was 129,000 without any interest, without anything. So that was the cash price. If I had cash, I was gonna pay 129,000 for the car. But because I didn't have cash, it was not that much. Then another thing I need to mention, that was a big mistake on my side. My mom did advise me that please save up first and have deposit for the car. I didn't have any deposit, but I wanted my car. Didn't listen to mama. I went straight to the car dealership and got my car. So I went, and they were like, okay, cool, you don't have a deposit, so this is how we're gonna work it out. This woman was convincing me that this is the best interest rate she could get me. She got me 17%, you guys. 17% interest rate. Imagine. That's like the interest rate. That was exaggerated. I only found out after like already having the car, signing the contract a few months later. Like I only found out a few months later that, hey, 17%, you could have gotten it a bit down, that's a lot of money. So that's how I ended up paying 3,200 per month for my car. And I have to mention that a fixed interest rate, I am happy I went for the fixed interest rate, because at the time you may take like not a fixed interest rate, you may take what is it called, but it's not, it changes with what the like, it changes with inflation and stuff. So 1 month you may be paying 2,005 and then another you are paying 3.5, whatever. So for me, I found it vital for me to be able to budget properly, that it's just a set amount that I know I'm gonna pay till I'm done. So that's how I got to the 17% fixed interest. And then and then I ended up paying 3,129 for my car per month. And with a balloon payment at the end of my payment period, I have to pay 30,000 to the bank for it to be done paying. So I didn't have a deposit at the start, so I'm gonna have to pay this 30,000 lump sum at the end. And yeah, so came in the factor of insurance. Guys, when you get a car, especially on credit, but even if it's not on credit, please get insurance. I knew like I had to get insurance, but you can't even leave the car dealership with the car without getting insurance. So another thing, the adverts will be like, choose budget, choose this, you are going to get 200, you are gonna pay 300 for your Hyundai i10, for your Quid, for your, they're like using a Kia Picanto as an example. So I was like, let me go. I got a quote from a couple of insurances, and the cheapest insurance budget I could get was at Budget Insurance was 1,400. So now from the 2,000 that was just plain from what I planned, I ended up paying 3,200 for my car, like installments per month, and that 1,400 for insurance, comprehensive insurance with shortfall and retail value. And on the subject of insurance, so guys, please read the paperwork, read everything in that paperwork when you are signing an insurance quote. Same way you should read and research before you get a car, research like with the insurance. So for me, I was looking at what I'm gonna be paying per month, but and they will mention an excess. So initially my excess for if I was in an accident or anything happened and I were to claim, I had to pay 5,500 rand in excess from my understanding. But now apparently and then I bumped a Mercedes Benz. I should do a story time about that. And then now I'm looking, luckily it was not a huge, it was like a scratch, but the girl still gave me a quote about 16,000. Story for another day. So now fine, I go back to my insurance and I want to look at my options, only to find out that because I'm still under 25, I had to pay, that was the initial excess is 5,400. Then there's an additional one that's 5,005, like that 5,000 something for being younger than 21. And then I think there was an additional excess. So my excess was looking at something like 12,000 to 13,000. But when I signed the paperwork, I was under the impression that my excess is only 5,000. So do look out for that. Then I went later on to look for an alternative insurance quote, and I got one from Outsurance. It was still high, it was over 1,000, it was 1,025, and but my excess was 3,600 and there were no additional excesses. I made sure to ask about that. Then now I'm currently paying 460 for comprehensive insurance, including shortfall and retail and car hire, because I didn't have, with the other insurances, I didn't even have car hire with my way. So now I sound like an insurance ad, but that's like the situation, guys. That's what you have to be expecting when you buy a car. There's all this fine print that you are not prepared for. So if you are seeing an ad that says you're gonna pay 2,000 per month, you are most likely not gonna pay that much unless you are my dad, who has maybe a good credit record, has been working for 10,000 years, has been like my mom, who's had like a couple of cars that were paid properly, and like there's just history. If you are young and you're gonna get a car on finance, you have to just expect hore but rob up and but share the interest, but share the excess, what. So that 2,000 oibonang in the ad, the one that you see in the ad, you are not going to be paying that. That's what you have to be expecting. So yeah, that's my story. But my credit application was approved. I never had any problems with the credit application, and yeah, I'm guessing it's because I did have accounts that I paid well before, and I had an income. I was a permanent employee, and yeah, so that's my story with getting my babes. But yeah guys, look out for all those things. So let me just summarize. You have to look at the fine print and just know that when they advertise the car values, they advertise based on the bare minimum interest rate, and they also have residual put in there that you don't see. Then secondly, have a deposit. Be more patient. I was excited, I want a car, and I didn't get deposit. Then third, with insurances, shop around and make sure you read all the fine print. You ask all the questions, especially when it comes to what is covered and what your excess is, and the claiming process, and all the T's and C's that you have to know. Then yeah, pay your car, guys. I've been blessed and fortunate enough that I haven't even had one defaulted payment, and I've been able to be insured the whole time, which is a blessing from God, and discipline from your side. Don't make it an option that now you're gonna be reversing monies and stuff. Like when you make your budget knowing that, you know what, if I'm gonna go for this decision, I can fully afford it. Don't go buy a car even though you will not be able to afford it. If now, after you make your calculation, after you calculate, now this is how much I have to pay per month for the car, the insurance, also factor in that there's petrol that you need for the month, that you need to fill up that car. Then factor in the fact that you have to sometimes, like my tire burst within the first month of me having the car. So that was like, it was actually inside the wall. So if that happens, they don't just patch the tire. I had to buy a tire for 700. And you see, those kind of expenses come if the car, like if anything happens to the car, it's on you. Even if like you crash or anything, you have insurance, but you still have to pay an excess. Those type of things you have to factor in. So if you are going to say, now I'm financially ready for a car, it's when you have all those costs that are upfront that you know of, but you still have extra in that's coming in per month to be able to put in petrol and take care of that car. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye.